The social engineers want to keep knowledge subterranean. They want you afraid of it, like Plato's clay or Plato's cave. They want to manipulate your mind like it is a piece of clay. But as we're live transmitting here in Austin, Texas tonight, look into that tunnel, because that's the archetypal passageway going from globalist mind control into thinking for yourself. Not thinking how I tell you to think, but thinking for yourself and understanding why they hate Infowars.com so much. You see, my friends, John Hancock, back in 1776, July 4th, that's why we have that date, signed his name bigger than anybody's on there because he wanted King George III, the tyrant, to see his name on there, because if he was going to risk his family, his treasure, his life, his name, he wanted to put his full energy behind it, because signing that was a death warrant. Signing that would even put his own family on slave ships, but he did it. And so I want to explain something to Soros and the globalists and their minions and the New York Times, the Washington Post, the LA Times, the Dallas Morning News. All of them daily write articles about me lying about what I stand for. They never quote me. They just claim I say things that are terrible to try to demonize myself and the First Amendment. Well, I have knowingly signed my John Hancock big and bold across here. And after Trump, I am the second most attacked person in the United States, even by the UK, the Australian news, the Mexican news, the Canadian news. Why am I the most demonized? Why am I the most misrepresented? Because I'm telling the truth, and I understand, and I've read their own documents, and I understand their agenda, and people are listening in government and also the general population. So I signed my John Hancock on purpose, wanting to have a big effect, wanting to bring people out of the tunnel, up here, towards the light, and not towards some world that I control, like the whole globalist system or the virtual reality system, but to a world where you make the decisions and where you've got a fair shake about where the planet's going. So that's why we're doing this, and that's why I stand for this. But look, coming out of Plato's cave, I'm not giving you all the answers. I don't have the answers. I just know that is a controlled paradigm, like the giant Times Square system bombarding you with their messages of control. And so they keep celebrating the fact that I get these fake lawsuits that we throw out as fast as they file them, because they're totally fraudulent. They're really just PR press releases. So they file more to have simulated victories against somebody they see as a champion of America and free market, because they're threatened by the fact that I'm not like all the other followers that sell people out or who care about what mainstream media say. When my grandfathers were fighting Hitler, do you think they cared that they were calling Army airmen, they were both Army airmen, traitors and pieces of crap and evil? Do you think I care that North Korea says horrible things about Trump? Do you think I care that our child molesting, infested Hollywood scumbag system attacks me? It's not just that I don't care. I am extremely honored. I am extremely empowered that I get to stand against tyrants and try to measure up to my forebears. So George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Benjamin Franklin, Patrick Henry, Samuel Adams, they were all demonized. They were all attacked. They were all called traitors. But we all know them as the Americans that stood against the British Empire that had never been defeated and won. About 10 years ago, I was in the UK, took a bus tour around town, and they drove by downtown where the Revolutionary War general, who'd been a traitor the whole time, Benedict Arnold, synonymous with traitors, with Judas Iscariot, lived. They said, here's the great patriot. And even the Brits on the bus rolled their eyes because they knew he was a traitor against who he said he was with. And that's the same thing. They may write the history books and say I'm a bad guy, but everybody who is a thinker knows the truth, that we're standing for what's right and we're trying to change the world. We're not trying to win a popularity contest. We're not trying to get corporate funding. I'm not trying to get in line with George Soros. You guys all go look, oh, they've taken your corporate sponsors. Oh, look, they're trying to shut you down. They started taking my sponsors 15 years ago. It's why I went to direct sales and change the whole model and bring in more revenue than any other talk show host in the U.S. and then fund an operation against them. They made me stronger, censoring me. They made me change. And their censorship now is making us stronger. So again, all these followers watch and they see this simulated attack on InfoWars and they go, oh look, John Hancock's being chased by the British. Well, John Hancock got chased by the British for 6 years and lost his farm and his business, but he ended up being a founding father and more successful after it. But even if he died like many founders did, or their families did, he was a real man. It's not about being a piece of crass, selfish garbage. Yeah, a piece of crash, I was gonna say crap, but piece of crass, self-centered garbage. It's about being real, and you guys don't get it. I'm trying to take the brunt of the attack. I'm trying to open up holes in the globalist operation to have a real debate. I'm trying to change the world. So let's go. Let's go ahead now, and let's go back down in here. Let's march back down through Plato's Cave. We'll see if this live transmission works. And let's see if other people want to follow with us and just explore and just be free and be allowed to say what they want to say. I saw an article in the New York Daily News, you name it, attacking myself and Mike Adams for simply putting up the website he put up, Hogwatch. And they said, Adams claims he's allowed to put this up, but we think it should be taken down. That's how authoritarian the dying corporate whore media is, that just takes corporate talking points and then regurgitates it out. They are the sellouts. They're the people that are stuck in the tunnel. They're the people going along with the system. They're the people that shake in their boots every day, trying to be better lapdogs. Well, I'm not a lapdog, and I am a modern John Hancock, as are tens of millions of other Americans and billions of people around the world that realize what's going on and want to be free. So you can stay in the tunnel if you want for the rest of your life, or you can decide to go out into the wider world and stop believing whatever mainstream media says. But again, I want to be clear. They know I know all this. They think you're stupid. Just like Gruber said, he thinks you're dumb effers. You can break their conditioning if you realize what's happening. And you can understand that going along to get along is what's created this tyranny. It's what created the complacency of Nazi Germany or communist China today, and that you can break free from that, but you have to decide that and be individuals. That doesn't mean agreeing with me. It means being true individuals. And they've called me a cult leader, even though I don't have some cult, don't have some group. If I am a part of a cult, it's part of the human society. It's part of free will. It's part of building that system. It's part of believing in you and that real college of diversity, that real college of ideas, that real system of true free market that everywhere it goes creates unbelievable prosperity. It also creates decadence on the other side. So, marching back into the tunnel. It's your decision. All I'm doing is showing you that you're in the tunnel. All I'm doing is pointing out history and people calling out through the eons for free will and to understand that you have a choice. The globalists are targeting your free will. They're bullying you. They're trying to be gods over a system they control, but they're not gods at all. They're fallen control freaks who are attacking free will. Free will where God actually gave control of his omnipresent control over to individuals to allow them to have free will in his true completeness. So here we are. And that's the question. I have signed my John Hancock. I expect to be attacked. I have been attacked. And we've changed the world. And globalism is in retreat because it's an authoritarian lie. Doesn't mean we're offering some utopia. Doesn't mean there's perfect blue skies on the other side. But it does mean it's better than what they're offering in the ash heap of communists and fascists and murderers and globalists and cults and all the rest of it. We are offering a future world for our children. We're offering a place where they've got a future and they've got a chance and they've got green fields all in front of them, the green fields of their minds and individualism that are truly nurtured and allowed to actually plant those seeds, not the corporate terminator seeds of mind control and cultural Marxism and political correctness. No, these aren't the talking points of ABC, NBC, or Sinclair. These aren't the talking points of any political party. These are the talking points of the human spirit that throughout every culture and society continue to spring forward and that give us all the good things. And the centralization in those that quest for control, they give us all the bad things. So, I expect to be persecuted. I expect to be attacked. And I watch all these other fools in media think when they go along to get along that they're getting ahead when all they do is sabotage themselves, their families, and everyone else. So I've signed my John Hancock, and that's why I was thinking about the Streisand effect, where Barbara Streisand 10, 12 years ago had some, $25 million house right on the water. She was saying global warming's real. Sea levels are going up 5 feet. By 2007, it'll all be flooded. And people went, well, hell, lady, you got this giant house right on the water. Just like Al Gore. And she went, well, I'm going to sue you. You can't take a photo of my house. Google and Facebook can spy on you, but you can't. And then it made it the biggest story in the country. Well, there's the Streisand effect, but then there is the John Hancock effect. So I was describing this to Harris. I said, what should we call this video, like 20 minutes ago? And I said, I'm talking about the founders, and they knew what they were putting on the line, and they expected to get attacked and demonized and lied about in British newspapers, and they were only 3% of the population that started and won the war. How do I describe to people, this is what I've chosen? I'm winning. I want to be here. Even if I'm destroyed or imprisoned or killed, I did the right thing. This is what my forebears did. I must do it. It's in my genetics. It's in my spirit. How do I describe that to people that they keep acting like we're being defeated or attacked? We're looking for the war. Like bombers flying into flak clouds over Germany. They went to bomb the factories. They knew where the flak was where it was at. When you're over the target, you're in the flak. We're here for war with the globalists. We're here to win. We are winning. Don't you see the big epic thing happening? And he said, yeah, it's John Hancock signing it big, knowing it was a death warrant. Might as well go all the way. Because the British intelligence was going to know who all it was. They had spies inside the meeting. He was showing everybody else, let's have courage. Let's put our names big on this. That's it. So I put my name big on this. And if you put your name big on it, we're going to win. That's why they attack us, because they know I didn't sell out. They know I care about you, because you are my future and my children's future. Without you, there's no future for them. And they've got everybody getting paid off, and all these other cowards are falling before it. They want to be recognized by the media and the global system right as it falls. What fools. There's no way the globalists will succeed. It doesn't mean some utopia is coming. We got to build that future. But they're coming down, and all you fools think you're riding a ship of victory. You're riding a ship of doom. As for me, I'm going with my gut in history, and where God's spirit is, and where I feel good, where I don't feel fear of God, and where my conscience tells me I'm right. And quite frankly, I feel better than I've ever felt in this quest, because we have seen what we've already done, and I never imagined we would have such a big effect. I just thought I was one little piece of this larger fight, not to be such a central part, but I realize it's because I understand the destiny of humanity that I have been so successful in this fight, and I want you to know the secret of that I've signed my John Hancock, and I want you to sign your John Hancock, because this is the John Hancock effect.